Hi everyone, welcome to CGK. Today we're going to be learning how to play the card game Garbage. You can play this with how many ever players you want, but the more players you have, the more decks you will need. To set up this game, pass each player 10 cards and arrange them in 2 rows of 5 cards. The objective of the game is to get your 10 cards in sequential order, ace to 10. To start off the game, player 1 will need to draw a card. I drew the 10, so whenever you get a number, you're going to have to put it in that spot. So for the 10, you're going to have to put it in the 10th spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you'd replace this 10 in the 10th spot. Now I got a 9 from the 10th spot. So you replace this 9 in the 9th spot. And I replace this in the 9th spot, you get a 3. So you would replace this in the 3 spot. 1, 2, 3. Then I get a queen. Queens and jacks are completely useless, so I would discard it in the discard pile. Now it's player 2's turn. Player 2 will draw a card, and he gets the 8, so he would replace it in his 8 spot. Then he gets a 2, so he would replace it in his 2 spot. And then he gets an ace, he'll replace it in his ace spot. He gets a 6, he'll replace it in his 6 spot. He gets a 10, he'll replace it in his 10 spot. Oh, what a big cycle. He gets a 3, so he'll replace it in his 3 spot. And then he gets a jack. Jacks are useless, you would discard it. Now I would draw a card. 6, so I'd replace it with the 6 spot. Now I get a king. So what a king does, it is a wild card. So I can replace it in any spot. So I'm going to replace it in the 8 spot. I got a 5, can replace it in the 5 spot, 4 spot, another 4. So since I cannot use this 4, because I already have a 4, I would discard it. Now, since player 2 needs a 4, he can draw the card he needs from the discard pile and use it. He does not need a 10 anymore, so he discards the 10. I don't need the 10 either, so I draw a card. I replace a 2 in the 2 spot, and I don't need a 6 anymore, so I discard it. Player 2 does not need a 6 either, so and then he gets a 7, he replaces it in the 7 spot. He gets a 2, he does not need a 2, and he puts it there. So let me show you guys an example. Let's say, for example, I get an 8, right? Since the king is in the 8 spot, I can replace this 8 with the king and then put the king in a different spot. Then I get a 4. I cannot use the 4, so I discard it. Player 2 cannot use the 4 either, so he draws a card. He gets the ace. He cannot use the ace. He discards it, and I need the ace. So I draw the ace and I replace it. Now since I flipped over all my cards, my game is finished. All the other players will get one more turn to try to finish their grid. Player 2 does not have the ace, so he'll draw a card. He gets a king, so now he can replace it with either spot. He replaces it and gets a 9. He can replace the 9 back with the king spot and replace the king with the 5 spot. He will discard the 5. Or he can do that as well. It doesn't matter. So now he got one more turn and he also finished his grid. So since both of us finished our grid, there'll be a next round where we will both move to 9 cards. So next round, one of our cards will be eliminated and we'll only each have 9 cards. So that 10s will be useless now. And then you'd keep on going, and every time you finish your whole grid, you give the other person another turn, and whoever finishes their grid, you'd play another round with one less card. And then at one point of time, you'll get to only 1 card. And then from there, once you get an ace from the draw pile in that last round, ace or king, then whoever gets to 0 cards first wins. And remember, if one person finishes their grid and the other person gets one more turn and they do not finish their grid, then I would eliminate one of my cards and go to one less card, but they would stay in the same card place. So that is how you play the game Garbage. I hope you all like the game. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you can learn a new card game every week. Bye!